So at the time of this recording, there's a few posts on Reddit talking about how Dust 2 is a bad map for a few reasons. The primary reason cited is that people dislike needing to burn their smoke just to get to the other bomb site. There's some other reasons mixed in the comments with points being made about how the map is too aim heavy, and to a lesser extent how it's too hard to hold long in pugs, and the map being just boring. So I want to talk about all of these points really, and just put in my opinion on the matter. So let's talk about the big points, starting with the mid doors, right? The issue here is that you need to burn a smoke just so that you can get to the other bomb site. This is more so because of the fact that the T's can literally spawn and have vision of the mid doors right away, or they can spawn like right next to it, and you know, it's the same thing really. Now, obviously, the solution as of the current meta is to just smoke the cross. If you remember back in the day, people just used to use an HE to create the smoke from the explosion, but people have opted to go towards the smoke now because it's a little more consistent. Now, this doesn't actually prevent you from getting picked off, this just reduces the chance of you dying through the smoke, right? If you think about it, the T's can very easily just sit there, see the smoke go up, and wait for however long they want to wait, and then just take a random shot. And then if you die, the T's know, and you're like, hey, we have an easy 5v4, or they don't know anything at all. Burning the smoke changes the cross from a reaction time test, right? From like trying to hit this shot as a CT's cross, changes it from that to a guessing game. And there's no way getting around the fact that it's a guessing game, right? Sometimes you get lucky and you don't take any damage and you're fine and you don't lose any time, or you get picked and die. No way around it, unfortunately. However, it's not so simple, right? It's not just, wow, I got hit, this game's stupid. If you think about it from the T's perspective, you don't know what you've done to the CTs unless you get a kill, right? If you tag someone through the mid doors, if you tag two people going through mid doors, you're not gonna know until they die. And until the time that you know what you did, you don't know what they did. That sounds terrible. Okay, so imagine the round, right? As a T, you're picking mid door, the CT smoke their cross. That's not a smoke. Anyway, the CT smoke their cross, you take a random shot, and then you move on with your life, right? How much damage do you do? If any, right? You don't know. So as a T, you can't assume, oh, I hit someone, or you can't assume you legged someone or anything unless you see the blood, but you won't because it's smoked. So you play this round out the same way you would anyway, right? The only difference is when you get a kill and you know it's a 5v4, and now you can abuse the middle part of the map, or you can abuse B, or whatever your team wants to do. But until that point, you don't know. You don't know anything about the damage that you've done. You don't know anything about what the setup is. When you see that smoke, you don't even know if it's a standard 2-1-2 or a 3-1-1, right? It could be 4A. It could straight up be 4 people on A trying to fight you long. So to summarize everything I just rambled about, the smoke will help you cross, but also has the purpose of masking your setup, which allows you to play a crazy 4A setup with a molly or flashes or something like that. Plus, again, the T's don't know what information they have on your HP totals until you die. So, even if you get hit, yes, you are disadvantaged, but the T's don't know that unless they can somehow see the blood on the wall behind you, in which case, oh well. Now you might be thinking, oh, but you don't burn a smoke every round. Like, okay, so what? You burn a smoke to cross top mid on Mirage, and you just sit in mid with 5 people anyway and don't do anything, and then you all die because you have no utility anymore. Same shit, except this is better because you actually have a defense spread out across the map. And plus, you can replace your smoke. You can still buy extra nades after you burn your smoke. I'm in a practice mode, so obviously I can't, but if you have extra money, buy an HE as you're leaving spawn. And you could do the same thing on the Mirage example too. You smoke top mid, you get off the trash can over there, and then you buy an extra nade. And then you move on to mid. So anyway, I think people are just being really stupid about it. They just only see the mid pick part and they don't realize anything else that happens on the map or any other possibilities that you can do on the map. And they don't realize how much information the T's don't have. They don't realize that. Okay, anyway, moving on. I think the current iteration of mid doors, it's obviously T favored, and I would like to see them bring it back to 1.6 where they blocked off a big chunk of this area here, and maybe also get rid of this random railing here. Like, this is a weird angle you can play as a T, and it'll definitely catch people off guard. Yeah, well, you should just bring it back to 1.6, and I can show you right now. So we're traveling back in time into CS 1.6, my childhood game. This is what Dust 2 mid doors looked like in 1.6. You can see on the CT side even, this is blocked off, and you can see all the way over there on the T side, it's also a very small area that you can get picked from. You can see that like this right side is not even peekable, and you have all this upper buildingness around here. So you can't really get like that weird elevated angle on that little rail in the back of T-spawn that's like right here-ish. Welcome to T-spawn, by the way. So to pick mid as a T, you kind of have to like force yourself to be within like this area here, which makes it really easy for the CTs to just it makes it really easy for the CTs to just pre-fire you basically. So I don't really remember this lineup anymore. I used to op a lot in 1.6. Whoop. But you could easily just pre-fire this. That was a bad example, but you get the idea. And also, the B doors used to be this way for the entire time in Dust 2 in 1.6. How neat is that? Anyway. The next point I'll make is that people think this map is insanely aim heavy, and aim is always going to matter on every map, and it's just more apparent on Dust 2 compared to other maps like Inferno, Overpass, even Nuke. And here's the thing with Dust 2. People don't know the nades on Dust 2, don't know different ways to smoke Xbox, and to be fair, I don't know how to do this from 64 tick, but on 128 I know you can just do that. Smoke Xbox, you'll stop dying from mid, right? You can do it from here as well, you can do it from here as well. I like doing this one. People don't know any util, they don't know how to do this smoke, which is super meta right now, because it basically does the same thing as an Xbox smoke, but gives you more room. Right? People don't know like good flashes for here or to flash there at all. People don't know the rail smoke. People don't know the CT smoke. People don't know like any util on this map, and then they complain that it's all aim duels. I'm just like, bro, of course you think it's all aim duels because all you do is take fights and you don't think about learning util at all, right? People don't know how to throw this smoke or that smoke or this smoke. And they're like, oh, it's all aim duels. I'm like, no, learn some util, learn some flashes, right? Like, if you learn the rail smoke, you can throw a flash here. You can throw a flash like this into Goose. You could throw your pizza molly really safe. You could throw mollies into A ramp. I know there's a lineup for this one. Something like here. Right? You can throw nades onto ramp with the smoke up. And you just like destroy people on ramp. Right? Think about it. What util do you know for coming out long as a T? I mean, there's only like one or two, but you really should learn this util. Right? This helps you so much with the aim duels. And the CT, like, what util do you know as a CT? Like, I don't know, I just come out here and then they rush me and I die. I'm like, yeah, because you're not using util. Because you're not using any nades to help you take that part of the map. Which brings me to my next part. People think taking long is so free as a T, and they think that holding it is impossible as CT. No, you just don't know any util, or don't use any util, right? Right? Like, you can't throw this running molly, which is a little difficult because it's a field-based molly, but, right? If you realize you have the problem that you're getting run over along, you need to learn some util to stop it, or otherwise you're just gonna keep getting run over along, and you're just gonna keep complaining. You know, maybe you should find a video about a long setup that a certain YouTuber has done. You know, that'll help you cover a lot of the possibilities that the T's have. Final point the map is too boring. And this one I would actually agree with. Like, this map has been in the game since CS 1.3 in the early 2000s, right? Check out Ancient CS. This person uploads a lot of videos from way back in the early 2000s and some in the 2010s. Dust 2 has been there since CS 1.3 in the early 2000s. So this map has stood the test of time. But it is boring because everyone's played the hell out of it. Which is like, you know, that's just how it is. I've played 7,000 hours of CS over a few accounts. And I would say like 30% of my time there is Dust 2. And as one of my friends have said in a plug a long time ago,
he played out every situation possible in this game.
So to sum it all up, Dust 2, it's fine. The map is fine. It has problems, but so does every map. The mid-cross is a little annoying as a CT, but it's not as bad as you think. Although, I would like to see the upper part of this being blocked off and tightening the T side range, right? Tightening this range here would be kind of nice. This map is a lot more rewarding for taking aim duels and being successful, but that's also offset by the fact that people don't know how to throw nades on this map at all, especially in matchmaking. And finally, the map is pretty boring, but it's just because it's been the go-to map for casual and competitive players alike, and because it's been in the game for literally 20 plus years. So anyway, tell me what you think about Dust 2. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and like the video if you liked the video.